I've been so alone ever since I left the tribe. That's just how it goes, cause I like the lonely vibe. But they'll never know, cause I'm always on my grind. And I live a lonely life, and I'm never getting stressed, cause I gotta stay.
What's going on, guys? It's Komar, and I'm back with another video. Today is a little bit special just because I will be doing my very first deck profile. Now, I thought long and hard about whether to do these, and I just decided to go for it. I'll mainly do some pack openings, but every once in a while I'll throw a profile in. Today I'll go over my most favorite deck and the one I use personally, which is Gladiator Beasts. I don't really run anything meta, really haven't found anything I truly enjoy. Gladiator Beasts just hold a special place in my heart. Played them back in the day, I play them now. And so we'll get right into it. Just an overview of the Gladiator Beasts. I know they were huge in Duel Links here recently. They're a big part of the meta over there. And they're just as much fun here. Running a Gladiator Beast deck hopefully will get a little more prevalent once the link drops. I think it comes out in Flames of Destruction. Not official yet, though, in terms of announcement over here in the TCG, but the OCG has it. He looks pretty cool, and that's where things are really going to take off and speed up when it comes to the Gladiator Beasts. So we'll go over our normal monsters first, or our main deck, rather. Normal monsters for sure. Now, Gladiator Beasts really run themselves off of a bounce back effect. Really, when a Gladiator Beast attacks or is attacked, does have to survive if it is attacked, it gets to bounce back to the deck in order to special summon another Gladiator Beast. That's where the main effects lie. All of the Gladiator Beast effects really just happen when they're special summoned by a Gladiator Beast effect, which is the bounce back feature. So first up, we've got Darius. I run 2 copies of Darius. Now, Darius lets you take a Gladiator Beast from your graveyard and special summon it to the field, but its effects are negated, so essentially that particular monster doesn't get to do a bounce back. However, it creates a great way to get some of the fusion monsters out. Now, most of the fusion monsters all of them do run off of contact fusion, so you don't need polymerization, which makes things great over here. Next up, we've got Gladiator Beast Bestiari. Now, Bestiari is one of my favorites, just because its effects when special summoned by Gladiator Beast lets you destroy one spell or trap card on the field. I do believe it's a must thing. Yeah, destroy one or spell or trap card. So yeah, you don't get the option to, so be very careful if your opponent doesn't have any spell and trap cards, but you do, just because you now have to choose one of your own, which is never any fun. So use Bestiari. Of course, at your own risk. But if there's no spell or trap cards, guess what? We don't have to destroy one. But Bestiari is one of my favorites, and he is materials for one of the big guys, which we'll get into later. And the big guy is my absolute favorite. Next, we have Gladiator Beast Lakari. Now, Lakari, when he's special summoned by a Gladiator Beast effect, his attack just goes from 1800 to 2100, so he just gets a little bit boost there, and he just makes it a great way to get other Gladiator Beasts out, because you are not allowed to special summon a beast of their own name. So Bestiari goes back to the deck. You can't special summon another Bestiari. You have to use an additional Gladiator Beast. Next, we have 2 copies of Gladiator Beast A Quest. A Quest lets you add 1 Gladiator Beast from your graveyard back to your hand. And so again, it's just a great way to get some more Gladiator Beasts rolling. Next, we've got 3 copies of Noxious. He's kind of a fun quick effect monster. He actually came out in Battles of Legends Light's Revenge. You want to make sure that with Noxious, you're not doing anything but keeping him in your hand. He's a great escape if your board is empty, because if you are attacked directly, you're able to special summon Noxious. And of course, if he survives that attack, oh, by the way, that attack is negated. Not the whole battle phase, just that one attack. So, a special note here, if you're going to special summon Noxious, just make sure you're doing it with the last monster that attacks you directly, because you want him to survive, because again, he does have that bounce back feature. So that the attack is negated if it's the last monster that's attacking you, and he gets to bounce back after the battle phase and get yourself another Gladiator Beast out. And then we've got, last up with the Gladiator Beast monsters, 2 copies of Gladiator Beast Augustus. Now Augustus lets you special summon 1 Gladiator Beast from your hand to the field in defense position, but it leaves the field after the turn is over. So again, it's just creating extra monsters as a great way to get your contact fusions out. And then let's see, is the effects negated too? Let's card special summon, blah blah blah. Yeah, face up defense position. So it doesn't say anything about it negating its effects. So I guess it could still have that bounce back feature. Yeah, shovel it back into your deck during your end phase. Alright, cool. Yeah, so Gladiator Basic, I just use him. Basically, he's a beefy boy. He's got 2600 attack, and he lets you create an easy contact fusion out of it. Next up is very essential, is 3 copies of Test Tiger. Now, since all of the Gladiator Beast effects only happen if it is special summoned by a Gladiator Beast, the bounce back feature, Test Tiger, gets to be special summoned from your hand if you normal summon a Gladiator Beast, or have one on the field rather, and then you get to shuffle that Gladiator Beast back into your deck and special summon a Gladiator Beast, like it's through the Gladiator Beast effect. So a great way just to get the game started, or if your board got wiped, to get started again. Next, I run 2 copies of Elemental Hero Prisma, and Prisma's effect essentially lets you take a fusion monster and then declare a material out of that monster, and then Prisma becomes the material. So I always make Prisma Bestiari, just so that we can get the contact fusion out that we want, which for me most of the time is Gyzarus. Next up, we've got the spell and traps. So we'll get these monsters out of the way. So first off, with our spells, I run 3 copies of Gladiator Proving Ground. This lets you take one Gladiator Beast that's level 4 or lower, which is basically all of them. Let's see, not Augustus, not Noxious, but we've got a Quest, Lucari, Bestiari, and Darius are all able to be targeted by this and add it from your deck to your hand. So it's just a great way to get our hands full of Gladiator Beasts again. Next up, I run 2 copies of Colosseum Cage of Gladiators Beasts. So this is my newest addition to my deck. I actually pulled it in the Gladiators Assault First Edition. If you guys haven't checked those videos out, definitely go and do so. The most recent 2 are not released yet, but the first 2, the best 2, are out right now. Definitely get them a watch, just because I pull a ghost rare. Which one is it? You'll have to see. But anyway, Colosseum Cage of Gladiator Beasts has a gnarly effect. You get to place 1 counter on this card each time a monster is special summoned. Either. It doesn't have to be a Gladiator Beast, just special summoned, period. In today's meta, everything is special summon. So each time that gets a counter, indefinitely gets a counter, all Gladiator Beast monsters gain 100 attack and defense for each of the counters on this card. And then if this card would be destroyed, you can discard, or banish. Is it banish? Just discard 1 Colosseum Cage of Gladiator Beasts and prevent this card from being destroyed. So that's why I run 2, just in case that were to happen. It's a pretty gnarly card. I've used it recently, and I think my counter was at 12 or 13, so that's 1300 extra attack and defense for my Gladiator Beasts, and it made it pretty nice, especially with Augustus out there, Gyzerus, and pretty much any of the contact fusions. That's just a great thing for. Some more of the spells. Mystical Space Typhoon, just a nice staple. Of course, you get to target one spell or trap card on the field and destroy the target. Book of Moon, which is a great thing to run here with Gladiator Beasts. Never be afraid to attack a defense position monster, even if it's higher. You lose a little bit of life points, but hey, you get that bounce back feature. So if you have a problem monster out, Book of Moon's gonna flip it face down, and then you'll be able to bounce back your Gladiator Beasts just to have, you know, some more Gladiator Beasts and get some contact fusions out. Dark Hole, because why not? Everybody likes to destroy all monsters on the field. My board gets wiped, you're probably going to get wiped too there. And then also Double Summon. Gladiator Beasts have its own form of Double Summon, but just having an extra with no restrictions is always great for me. Onto the traps now. Get our spells out of the way. Onto the traps. Here is Gladiator Beast's form of Double Summon, which is Double Tag Team. Activate only when you special summon a Gladiator Beast monster. Special summon one level 4 or lower Gladiator Beast monster from your hand or deck. So it just opens things wide open. When that bounce back feature happens and it's special summoned, guess what? Activate Double Tag Team, and then you've got access to yet another one of everybody but Noxious and Augustus from your deck or your hand. So it's a great thing to run 2 of, maybe even 3. I just run 2. Then I do 2 copies of Gladiator Beast War Chariot, which is another cool trap card. When effect monster's effect is activated, if you control a face-up Gladiator Beast monster, negate the activation and destroy it. So it's a great little thing to run. And then Wabuku, because stuff happens, and you know, take no battle damage. You guys know what Wabuku does. Bottomless Trap Hole, because everything is special summon these days. You know, problem monster gets special summon, get that puppy out of there. And then compulsory evacuation device, same reason. You know, problem monster, get the thing out of there. Jar of Avarice, I added this recently, just because I kept having some issues, especially during the competitive play. Casual play, guys, this deck is great. Competitive play, I don't highly recommend it. It's just fun as hell to play, but it's not the best when it comes to competitive play. But just for competitive reason, I use Jar of Avarice to target, you know, 5 cards in the graveyard, except Jar of Avarice, shuffle into the deck, and then I get to draw 1 card. Good all around. And then we have Quaking Mirror Force. I actually recommend this higher than 1, but I only have 1. But this is one of the Mirror Forces that work great for this deck, just because all attack, face-up attack position monsters get flipped face-down defense. So again, just like it's a super Book of Moon essentially, and you can get some more bounce back features going on. And then I do have a copy of Drowning Mirror Force, which lets all face-up attack position monsters just go back to where they came from. We don't want those attack position monsters out there to prevent us from doing some Gladiator Beast fun stuff. Alright guys, that does it for my main deck, which is exactly 40. Next up, we will go over our contact fusions, our links, and then some Xyz as well. First off, we've got Gladiator Beast Gyzerus. Now Gyzerus, he requires 1 Gladiator Beast monster and then Gladiator Beast Bestiary. Again, that's where Elemental Hero Prisma comes in. We've just got 2 extra copies of Bestiary at that point. Now his effect when he's special summoned, he gets to destroy 2 cards on the field. Doesn't matter what they are. Spell, trap, monster, just get those puppies out of there. And of course, he gets a bounce back feature as well. Bouncing back, you get 2 Gladiator Beast monsters, except for Gladiator Beast Bestiary, back to your field. Of course, we've got 2 more effects coming as well. Then I run Neurokius. Neurokius is a pretty BA dude. He looks cool, and he's got a beefy attack of 2800, but he requires 3 Gladiator Beast monster. Of course, skip all that part where it must be summoned. Do not use polymerization. It cannot be destroyed by battle. If the card attacks or was attacked, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the battle phase. And then we do get to bounce back as well, but instead of 3, we are only going for 2. But hey, I get him out and I keep him out just because he's beefy, he can't be destroyed by battle, and then his negate feature as well if he was attack or does attack. Now, these next couple are really prevalent with the links. They came out with Battles of Legends, Life's Revenge as well. Getting ready for that link monster to drop, hopefully. But I've got 2 copies of Gladiator Beast Tamer Editor. Now, he's got a pretty cool effect. Let's read it. Must be first special summon from the extra deck by shuffling the above cards. It's just 2 level 5 or higher Gladiator Beast monsters. Pretty simple if you got Augustus or Noxious out. But anyway, once per turn you can special summon 1 Gladiator Beast fusion monster from your extra deck, except Gladiator Beast Tamer Editor, ignoring its summoning conditions. At the end of the battle phase, if your Gladiator Beast monster battled, you can shuffle that monster into your deck or extra deck and special summon 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your deck. Really, before links, this guy would have been amazing just because you can fill up your board with, you know, Geisterius and the H guy. I don't run him. The Tamer Editor, Endabata, Neurokius, just whoever you wanted, just over and over again. And it made it really cool. Now that links are out, of course, we've got to have link pointers pointing to it, but it's still a great card to run just because if you get your links going, you can keep it going. Then I run 1 copy of Andabata. Also came out in Battles of Legends Light's Revenge. If summoned, you can special summon 1 level 7 or lower Gladiator Beast fusion monster from your extra deck, ignoring the summoning conditions. At the end of the battle phase, if this card battled, you can get 2 Gladiator Beasts. So bounce back effect for Andabata as well. So he's just like a mini Tamer Editor. I would run more of him, but really with Tamer Editor, he's not super needed, just because Tamer Editor can do anything but itself, and then Andabata can get that second Tamer Editor out. Alright, now for some Xyz monsters. I run 2 level 4s just because that's mainly what the deck is comprised of in terms of normal monster. We've got first up Castel, Skyblaster Musketeer, essentially getting you that free bounce back. Gets to defense position, attack with the Gladiator Beast monster, you get to bounce back, etc. And then we have Excalibur to get over that one card that has too much attack for us to handle. Excalibur basically just you can detach 1 Xyz material from it and then double its attack, so we've got 4,000 attack to handle now. We're at the 18-minute mark, so I will hurry up. Won't keep you guys much longer. Next up is our Link monsters. Pretty standard. Mrs. Radiant. We've got our Earth monsters. Just takes 2 Earth monsters. And since we've got some Earth monsters in here, like Darius's Earth, and then Test Tiger's also Earth, we can get some Mrs. Radiant out. It's not my favorite to bring out first. Instead, I love to bring out Underclock Taker. Just 2 effect monsters coming out there. And of course, we get our 1 down arrow. Decode Talker, he's pretty standard. 2 effect monsters for him as well. And then just a continuation of our Link's Proxy Dragon to go left and right. Alright, well that's it for this profile, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment down below if you want to see some of the combos that go along with these guys. I'd love to show you some things. Like I said, it's a great deck to run. It's not meta, but for nice and casual play, it's super fun. I hope you guys enjoyed my very first deck profile. Please be sure to subscribe and also like the video. Don't forget to comment, and we'll see you next time. Stay frosty.